It's really not that scary. It's just like everything else in life. If you take the time to learn it, things will start to make sense. What's going on YouTube? Taylor Prentice back here with another video, and this video is going to be on how to get into stocks. So in the past couple years, I've taken my interest into stocks and kind of really dove in. So I want to give you guys good ways to get your feet wet if you're interested in the stocks but haven't really taken that next step. So let's get into it. First things first, if you want to make money in the stock market, you got to have money to put into the stock market. So you got to get your finances straight. I highly recommend checking out Graham Stephan's channel, as he's someone that is kind of like a personal finance guru. He's going to show you some ways to cut back on your spending, and then also some ways to make more money on like the side. You really need to determine, one, do I have enough money to put money into the stock market each month? Because if you're not consistently putting in money, it can be very hard to grow. So once you've determined yes or no, I have enough money, if it's no, then you need to see, one, am I spending too much money each month? And like I said, that's something that Graham's really good at, is kind of bringing to light things that you would just overlook that you're spending on. And then the second thing is, how can I increase my income? If you've kind of cut back on everything and you're kind of pigeonholed, you just need to make more money. Something like getting another job, whether it be like a part-time job, like a delivery job for maybe DoorDash or something like that, or creating like a side hustle. Both of those are really good options. Personally, I know a lot of people, including myself, that work at the Domino's I work at, and a lot of us are part-time just because we have other sources of income and we don't really need full 40 hours a week from them, but we do appreciate the extra income that we're able to get there. Just, yeah, look for places around you that are hiring. Right now it seems like there's a lot. So once you get all your finances sorted out, you need to determine whether you're going to be a long-term or a short-term investor. I am personally a long-term investor. One, I just think there's a lot less risk, and two, I just feel like I don't feel as much pressure and don't have to worry about being up like a certain time to trade that morning or whatever. Pretty much everything I'm into, I'm holding for like 3 to 5 years. The strategy I've adopted is from another YouTuber named Financial Education Jeremy, and pretty much everything I've learned about stocks has been learned through him. You guys should definitely check him out. He's great. He's got videos for all kinds of people, beginners, and then I actually ended up buying his course once I felt a little more comfortable, and it's been really helpful to me. I would say get a feel for the stock market and make sure it's something you want to get into before you end up like buying a course. But if you do get to a point where you feel like your progress is kind of plateaued, that's when I enrolled in the course, and so far it's helped me a lot, and I feel a lot more confident in my portfolio, and I feel like over the next 5 years things are going to go pretty well for me. But time will tell, so we will see. I'm a long-term investor. I know a lot of people that are short-term investors. It's kind of just like, how do you feel about it? For like a lot of short-term investors that I know, I feel like it's like just kind of part of the fun, like makes it entertaining. But I'm in it to make money. I'm not really in it to be entertained. If I wanted to gamble, I would just open like DraftKings or FanDuel or something like that. So the next thing, once you determine if you're a long-term or a short-term investor, is figuring out what kind of stocks you want to invest in, or if you want to invest in funds. So for people that want to be really hands-off, investing in index funds can be really helpful, because you don't have to worry about like them going to zero or anything like that, any like crazy drops, because most likely it's not going to happen. They're very safe, and the rewards aren't crazy on those, which is why I'm not super heavy into index funds. I do own a couple, VTI and then VOO. Personally, I'm into growth stocks. And then you have people that are into value stocks and dividend stocks, like Andre Jick here on YouTube is really big into dividend stocks. For me, dividend stocks just don't make sense right now since I'm so young, because you have to have such a high amount in the stock market to be able to make those yields worth your time. So for now, I think growth is the best route for me, since I'm young and I have time to take that risk. But with that being said, if you're someone who's older and are looking for something a little less risky, value stocks and dividends and index funds can be really great for you. Those prices are very stable, and value stocks are actually something that are really good to learn, like just the stock market in general, and learn how to value stocks, because with these growth stocks it can be super hard. Like if you look at TTCF, which is a company that I'm invested pretty heavily into, they don't have a PE ratio. So like for new investors, that can be very confusing. And for me, like that didn't make really any sense, but I figured it out over time, and I kind of figured out how to value growth stocks. And keep in mind, like, I'm no genius. I've only been in this like a year and a half, 2 years tops. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. And this is definitely for entertainment. I am not a CPA. Let's get that out of the way. Or you could be someone who's got a little collection of all of them. So I know like Jeremy, he has whole accounts made that are just for dividend stocks, and then he's got his growth accounts, and then I don't really think he messes with value stocks, but some of those value stocks are dividend stocks. You've got like Coke and like Johnson & Johnson, which are very, very much value stocks, but pay out very solid dividends that are kind of growing forever. They're on that dividend aristocrat list. Just kind of figure out a plan for yourself, because depending on your age and your income, everything's going to be different for everybody. So there's no strict rule to go by, like, this is the way for me. But I have my own personal preferences, and it's working for me. So I'm going to just keep on applying those, and hopefully in like 20 years or 30 years, we'll be sitting pretty. That's actually a really good segue into my next thing, which is, if you don't know what a Roth IRA is, I highly recommend you go and check out videos on that. I know Graham has a good video on that. I'll probably make one here in the future. But Roth IRAs are essentially an account in which you invest. So you open up your Roth IRA. I have one with Vanguard, and you can invest up to $6,000 a month. So you can buy, within that account, you can buy stocks or funds. So in my Roth IRA, I have a mixture of individual stocks and a couple index funds. The cool thing about Roth IRAs are you don't pay any tax on the profits that you make in those accounts. So you can't pull money out of your Roth IRA until you're 59 and a half without acquiring like a 10% fee on top of paying tax on the stuff that you were going to have to pay tax on. So definitely don't recommend putting in money that you think you're going to have to pull out. Long term, it's just sweet that you can get all those gains. Like, think about how much is compounding over 30 years, and then you're just not going to have to pay tax on that. So yeah, if you're a young investor like I am, that is like the most cool thing to look at, is just compound interest. And like right now, it seems like things are going so slow, but I'm excited for what the future holds. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to give you guys a good way to kind of get comfortable about getting into the stock market, because I know it can be kind of scary, but it's really not that scary. It's just like everything else in life. If you take the time to learn it, things will start to make sense, and you'll start to get a grasp on things on like a higher level, which I'm starting to get there. By no means am I like the best stock market investor ever. Like, we'll see how my account performs over the next 3 to 5 years, but I'm really happy with the progress I've made in the last year. So I know you guys are definitely capable of doing it too. And any questions you guys have about the stock market, I'd be happy to help you with, or at least like point you in the direction of somebody who knows if I don't know. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Deuces.